Welcome to this episode where we're going to be talking about how you can get to 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. It is such a big milestone and we want to help you get there.
We have an awesome guest joining us today. She has been posting on YouTube for over 4 years, has over 7,000 subscribers, and posts about college, productivity, Disney, and more. Thank you so much, Brooke, from part of Brooke's World, for joining us today.
Hi, thank you so much for having me.
We're so excited to have you on. And one thing we want to ask everyone who's on our podcast is what inspired you to start your YouTube channel?
Oh my gosh, so my journey on YouTube is actually quite long. I did start my own channel back when I was beginning high school, back in like the early 2010, 2012 kind of area. And I was just creating like these lifestyle videos that really went nowhere. I mean, I was like 13, 14 making YouTube videos. And then I had stopped creating content for a while. And then I got accepted to do the Disney College program, which is basically just like a internship where I go and work at Walt Disney World for the summer. And I decided I wanted to vlog that experience because it was just super cool and I wanted to remember it. And then from there, I just kind of kept going and kept creating, and now we are here today.
And no, that's an awesome journey. And yeah, I watched your videos on that. It actually seems like such a cool program to be part of.
Yeah, so firstly, congratulations for having over 7,000 subscribers. It is like an
Thank
incredible
you.
milestone. But do you remember when you reached your first 1,000?
Yes, so I started my channel in February of 2018, and I believe I reached the 1,000 in about December of 2018, somewhere in there.
Oh, wow, that is pretty quick. Do you remember, or what sort of things do you do to help you get there?
Well, the big thing that happened for me actually was I did have a video blow up a little bit. So I was hovering around the 400 for like the longest time. And then I had a video blow up right at the beginning of December, which I believe it has around like 50, 60,000 views now. It was
Wow.
about Disney guest stories. So that one kind of popped off, and then my subscriber count just kind of jumped from there. So that was the big thing that happened for me personally. But overall, like I definitely think there are a bunch of different things that people can do just to kind of get the ball rolling. Have also studied in school. I studied digital media and marketing and social media marketing specifically. So there are definitely a lot of things I think looking back that I would do very differently for sure. I mean, everyone kind of starts out their YouTube channel a little rough, I feel like. And once you're more experienced, you kind of go back and you're like, ooh, maybe I shouldn't have done that. But one of the big things I think first off that a lot of people don't really think about is the name of your channel and what you're trying to create. And I have talked about this recently a little bit on my own personal social medias. But honestly, I just think the name of what you're trying to do is so important, because if people can't remember your name, or if they can't spell it, or just if it's like super not searchable, like super hard to find, people are never going to be able to like research up your channel, or when they think of you, they're never kind of going to be able to find you again. So I think for small creators especially, the name is probably the most important thing.
I agree with you. It's a reason that for us in our other channel that we have, we just called it
Mm-hmm.
TJTV because we knew our names, Tassioni and Talissa. That's what it used to be. Would be impossible for people to like remember how to spell and everything like that. and
Definitely. Oh my gosh. I can only imagine the crazy spellings you guys must sometimes get on
Yeah.
your names.
So you mentioned that you studied as well social media marketing, and you do have thousands of followers on like TikTok as well as on your Instagram. So I just wanted to ask, do you use them as well to grow your YouTube? Do you have people who follow you on there and then follow you on YouTube, or how does that work?
Definitely. So I consider YouTube still my primary source of social media, or my primary output. Instagram was always just a thing I did. I've never really taken Instagram too seriously. It's just kind of like posting my life. Obviously, I enjoy posting photos on there, and I do kind of plan out my content a little bit, but YouTube is always my primary. And then with TikTok, I really had no intentions of it kind of, not that I'm huge on TikTok, but of it kind of like blowing up. I really never intended for that to happen. I just started posting like everyone else once the pandemic started, just kind of for fun on TikTok. And that's kind of turned into something. But when I do get recognized when I am in Florida, everyone always recognizes me for my YouTube. So I think that's still kind of like my primary thing, but the audience definitely does cross over quite a bit.
Oh wow, that's so cool that you get recognized. How does that feel?
It's very, very strange. I always describe, because Disney content itself is so niche, that you're taking all these people who love Disney and you're putting them in one central location in Florida for Disney World. So it's a lot more common, I guess, for smaller Disney creators to get like seen by people who watch them because the community is so small. I describe it like like running into someone from your hometown, from high school or something. Like you're gonna run into someone. So but it's a really interesting experience. I never know how to react because these people who I've never seen before know so much about my life and what I'm doing and who I am, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, I don't even know your name, but hi, it's so nice to meet you. So it's
Right.
always fun, but definitely a very surreal experience every time.
Yeah.
Oh, that is super cool. So because you said one of your videos early on reached like, 50, 60,000 views, do you have like a specific approach to like video ideas and how you title them?
Yes and no. So, my approach to video ideas in general, especially when I was starting out, was creating content that people were going to search for. So, I was made sure I was trying to fill some sort of need. So, in this case, it was entertainment, but with other of my videos, it was like answering some sort of common question that I found a lot of people were having. So, in this case, it was a guest interactions or like bad guest experience video. I don't remember the exact wording of what it was called, but I had seen that a couple other people had posted videos similar to that and were blowing up. Wording wise, I do use TubeBuddy a little bit, the unpaid version, and I've used that for quite a while. And you can just run keywords through there and it gives you a little bit of score of how they might do in the algorithm, which I do believe is a really helpful platform to be able to use. And it like integrates right in with Google Chrome, which is really nice. But overall, it was just trying to find those keywords or trying to think in my mind, what were the words that people were going to search to want to find this content?
Okay, yeah, that definitely makes sense because it is something we've talked about on here before that YouTube is a search engine platform. So it's good to think of what people are looking for. You did mention that you use TubeBuddy. Could you just explain how you use that? What are you looking for when you look at like the scale it gives you or the volume? Like, what are you looking for when you're using?
Yeah, so I try to be as specific as possible with my titles to niche them down as much as possible because, like you said, YouTube is such a big search engine that it's not overcrowded. I never think YouTube is overcrowded, but bigger creators tend to trend more towards this top of generalized searches. So what I'll do is I'll type a couple words related to my video into just the YouTube search bar and see what comes up. And then TubeBuddy on the side will give recommendations as to what similar titles there are out there or similar searches. I'll use that to kind of narrow it down a little bit more. And then TubeBuddy has two sections. One is how often the video is searched and how those keywords that I typed in would rank among the competition. So I try to keep both of those just as high as possible, but I definitely value how it would rank among the competition the most.
Amazing. So, just in case anyone listening isn't too familiar with TubeBuddy, it's a Chrome extension and yeah, it's for free. There is a paid version, but the free version does offer you quite a bit of analytics. Are there any other tools that you use, or do you use YouTube Analytics or YouTube Studio at all?
I definitely do. If I'm posting a video that I've posted before that's done well. So, for example, with specifically my travel videos for when I travel to Disney World, my first day video when I'm at the airport or whatever, they always tend to do pretty well. And one thing I always do is take the analytics from those videos and look at what people were searching to find them in the past, just kind of all the little things about them where people were dropping off to kind of create the next travel day video whenever I do go back to Florida to make sure that I am able to kind of take those things into consideration. What were people people liking? What were they not liking? What were people searching for to find it in the first place? Can I incorporate that into this one or the title of this new video? Stuff like that. So any similar content that I have, kind of using the data from those videos to create the new videos.
You know what? I hadn't actually thought of that. So I think that's such a good tip in terms of you can kind of create similar styles of video. And then if you are doing that, because we definitely have vlogs as well where we're traveling, and then we can look for, even if it's a different city, maybe how did people get to this? And then we can just change the city name, or like you said, analyzing what parts of the videos people like, and then seeing, what to get rid of maybe, unless you really love it, but otherwise what you can redo. So I think that's such a good idea. And the other thing, we were watching your Feb reset
Yes.
video where you basically go through your goals and you share a lot of like your organization and planning. And I thought, wow, like that's amazing. I was so inspired. I wanted to know, with YouTube, how do you organize what content you're going to be posting and what you're going to be doing for the month, and if that has helped you reach your goals?
So first off, thank you so much. I'm so glad you enjoyed watching that. The lifestyle content is definitely not something a lot of people like on my channel. It's something I enjoy filming, but definitely more prominent is the Disney stuff in my audience. So that makes me really happy you enjoyed it. As for the YouTube planning process, I've recently changed it. So what I used to do is on my Google Calendar, I would just throw video ideas out there and be like, I can film this here, and whatever. But now I've taken a little bit more of a targeted approach, I guess you could say, to it. I do pretty particularly try to plan it, but I also try to make it very flexible because my life changes and my filming schedule changes. I'm in college. I have work. I have so many things going on. So keeping it flexible is super important because otherwise it's just going to stress you out. But I do create an Excel document every month. And what I've been trying to do recently too is create a theme for every month. This month's theme is prioritize happiness, which is something I really, really enjoy. Just by creating that theme, it helps me create content and more ideas around that and keeps all the content for the month very cohesive, in my opinion. So I take all the content, all my ideas on this Excel spreadsheet, I sort them out into what would go well with what week, along with looking at my own personal schedule. So where I can fit things in. If I have to film something 2-3 weeks in advance, making sure I have enough time to be able to do that and edit it properly. And then I translate all of that week by week into my planner, making sure that I have time to plan a video, edit a video, film and post a video. I feel like I overdo it sometimes. I'm definitely an overly organized person. But yeah, I try to plan in advance because I find it helps make sure I get stuff done, basically. Because if I just filmed when I wanted to film, I always film when I want to film, but if I just filmed kind of whenever, it would be a little bit different. And I definitely don't think I would get as much content up that way.
Oh, wow. You are super organized. I definitely have a lot to learn from you. That is really good because if it's helping you, keep motivated, and having that structure is helping you get more content and get ideas, that's amazing. That's a really good approach.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, I especially like the idea of having themes for your month. So one, like you said, it helps you come up with ideas, and the second thing is I think it does make it more cohesive, and it also helps you with I think, at least in my head, it might help with kind of a niche, at least for a month, if that makes sense. Definitely for someone who's maybe posting more entertainment videos or maybe videos that aren't tutorials, having a theme can help you narrow down what you're doing and what you want your followers to get out of your videos and what they'll be searching for that month. So I also wanted to ask then, in terms of kind of around that, you did say how a lot of the people who follow you are in the Disney kind of niche, but you also do post a lot of lifestyle videos. How do you get people from just from the Disney videos and kind of convert them into being part of a community and watching all of your videos?
Well, that one is definitely not easy and not something I have 100% cracked the code for yet. But in general, what I've always kind of tried to do, along with just the pure Disney content, is also throw in their content that is lifestyle and Disney related. So for example, the other day I did college outfits video, but I did Disney inspired college outfits. So it still had that like lifestyle aspect, but also a little bit of that Disney aspect. So it would attract both kinds of viewers. And the people who are interested in like Disney college outfits are probably also interested in regular college outfits, or most of them. So kind of taking a little bit of a transition that way is the approach I'm personally taking to it. And then also honestly just hoping that people are invested in who I am as a person too, and like want to maybe watch my week in the life videos, even if I don't go to Disney World that week, even for a couple months at a time.
That's really smart of you to combine things like that. And then you're not going, people still kind of know what to expect from you and do the transition. And yeah, like you said, when you're doing YouTube, you are the brand. So you're hoping people are going to like you watching you and form a connection with you so that they're happy to watch whatever you post. And that's not everyone,
Exactly.
but you want majority. Do you think that having the Disney kind of niche at the start as well, did that help you grow, at least to begin with? It wouldn't have mattered if you just did like normal lifestyle content, it would have been the same.
I think it definitely helped, and specifically the fact that I was in kind of the Disney college program aspect of it. Disney college program content really started blowing up around the time, and blowing up, I mean on a smaller scale, because it's still a relatively small niche. But within the Disney community itself, it started blowing up right around the time I started. So I feel like I just got in at a really good time when everyone was kind of searching that content, and people who had never heard of the Disney college program before were starting that content. And then also I knew that there were not a lot of Canadians posting content on this at all. And a lot of people were looking at it from a Canadian perspective. So I think a lot of it was I found a really big gap that just did not exist in the market that I was looking at. And so I just did my best to try and fill it.
Yeah, no, that's really good. Perfect timing. It sounds like it's really important to post what you're passionate about, but if you can jump on like something that's trending and if it's something that you like, then that's great. So you have shared so much amazing advice with us today and I've learnt so much from you. But if there is just one key takeaway that everyone listening can go away with, what would it be?
Oh gosh, I think it would be to post what you're passionate about. And I know people say this all the time, but I think it's just so important because no matter what happens with your channel, if you do not like the content you're posting, you're not going to be happy. You can have like 2, 3, 4 million subscribers. But if you hate the content that you're putting out, you're just never going to be happy with it. And I feel like a lot of the reason that people want to grow a YouTube channel or grow their social media is so that they can be happy with the content they're producing because it looks fun, because it looks like all the people who are big and influencers who are doing it are just having a good time. And if you're not posting content you're passionate about and that you enjoy, you're not going to have a good time. If you are passionate about something, people are going to recognize that. And that's what's going to make them subscribe and follow.
Perfect. I think that's a great way to end it. Just to summarize what we've talked about, start with what you're passionate about, like Brooke said, and make sure you're enjoying what you're doing. And then while you're experimenting and doing that, do use maybe tools like TubeBuddy to check for, best title and keyword. And definitely if you're posting a lot of similar kind of style content, go look at your YouTube analytics, see what did well, see what people were searching for to get to your video so that you can use those as your keywords. If you are in a specific niche and kind of want to branch out, maybe post videos that mix both of the things you want to do together, just so that you can transition people from one to the other. I've learned so much through this video. I hope you did too. I just want to say, Brooke, thank you so much for being a part of our podcast.
Oh, it was my pleasure. Thank you again so much for having me. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, of course. And for everyone watching, please go check out Brooke's channel. She has so much good content there. So it is part of Brooke's world, and it's the same on Instagram and TikTok. It's all the same part of Brooke's world. So don't forget to follow her, and don't forget to follow our channel too so that you don't miss out on any more podcasts and tutorials to help grow your YouTube channel. So we'll see you next time.